Right, hello everybody and welcome along. We have an EBR replay for you today. I'm sure you're all familiar with the French Ferrari. And today I just wanted to show you, from my point of view, what was an incredibly frustrating matchup, an incredibly frustrating team, and just an example of one of those games where you want to pull your hair out. I'm not going to say too much. I think the video is going to explain it. I'm going to see how my commentary goes. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into Malinovka in my EBR and let's see what kind of damage we can do. So here we are. We've loaded into Malinovka, I believe. Thank God I got that right. And here we are. I don't know whether you can see chat. I'm sure you can see chat down below. I'm about to type and let my team know that I'm going to spot the other side. Say spot middle. Oh, maybe chat. There we go. Spotting mid. There we are. So I'm letting my team know where I'm going to be. Please be ready. The firing line should be set up. Like we're hoping that there are vehicles just chilling and waiting. My T100 obviously didn't get the memo that I was going to spot mid. Either that or he wanted a chunk of the glory for himself. But what can he do? T100. Sure, you can take yourself a bush. So as you can see, you've got a 60 TP, E100, Jaegeru, and enemy EBR all lit. And here we go. Here comes the rest of the team. Look at this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vehicles are spotted. Thank God that HE round hit my track. I'm very, very lucky there. And what did we notice? I didn't hear I did not hear a single friendly gunfire. What more do you need, guys? What more do you need? You have a warning. You have an open line of fire. 2 scouts in the center of Malinovka. I did not hear a single cannon. Right, anyway, moving on. Our T100 got clapped. He tried to sit in a bush, and I think he was permalit by the EBR. So he went down very, very quickly. Thankfully, our Progetto retaliated as the enemy EBR decided to push relatively early underneath the ridgeline here at C6. I don't know what our batch artillery was doing, but he was well out of position, quite far forwards. Now, for those of you who are familiar with this line of bushes here, it's very, very popular for passive scouting vehicles, and I was lit twice, just making my run through the trench there. So I sort of had an inkling that the Manticore was in those bushes. I decided to be a little bit aggressive and try to push him out. And he managed to get out of the bushes after firing at me all the way back to his friendly bush line without receiving any damage. We have 2 Progettos, a Foch, a 183, 4005, and a 705A, all within clicking range. And nothing happened. 705A says he bounced the Manticore. I guess you can't do anything about that. RNG is RNG. But what are we? 3.5 minutes into this match, and we've had enemy vehicles spotted for one hell of a long time, and we have 0 assist damage. We're on half HP. We've just come across the Manticore again here in the trench. Now watch this. There's a bounce. Auto aim is auto aim. I don't understand why he sits there. Does he think he's not lit? Did he not see me? What's going on here? But whatever's happening in his head certainly works out for me. Right, we've got 1400 assist damage finally. And I'd like to point out that the only reason we have 1400 assist damage is because the Manticore was absolutely clueless and did not try to change position at all. So 1400, it's kind of where I wanted to be-ish at the beginning, the very first time I made the run up the mid, but better late than never, I suppose. And here we are in a position on Malinovka where we don't have a lot of presence on the hill. We've got 3/4 of our team sitting around the cap area, and there are no scouts on the enemy team. So we're here. I decided that it was probably for the best to make use of the guns behind me and just sit in the bush and passively scout the enemy line here. We noticed 1 shell fired towards the Jaegeru. I imagine that was our Foch 155. There's the second from the Foch. Still no damage. That's okay. There's all three of the 155 shots, so he's on reload now. So there's not really a lot more that I can do without being aggressive, and I don't really want to throw my tank away. There we go. Progetto starts to get farmed. That's great. Foch 155, you'll notice, in the open, he's got 2 Progettos within range. He's just backed around, back behind the corner there. Second Progetto up to peak. There we go. So, excuse me, we are getting a little bit of farm on these 2. But I was livid. For those of you who've been keeping an eye on chat, I've been communicating with my team, letting them know how disappointed I am with them, and trying to stir some fire in their bellies. There we go. Progetto's being taken down bit by bit by bit. We have a Foch crossing on 700 HP, completely broadside to our team. The Jaegeru spotted again. Looks as though the Foch did manage to pen one of his shells. So we have Progetto 65 making their way down through the middle of the map there, underneath the ridgeline. We have a Foch missing this Progetto 65 again. I'm guessing he's behind the rock here. We're up to 2,500 assisted damage, which, considering the number of guns we have, look at that. Okay, watch this. Tracked Conqueror, no damage. Bounce. Oh, my word. The 705A sitting at A2. I don't know what he hopes to accomplish at A2. But we're at the stage in the game now where we've conceded the hill because we didn't have presence up there. The 705A did decide to sit and cap and try to snipe with his enormous PP. And now we're just conceding meter after meter to the enemy team. We've got, again, our gunline is just here being incredibly ineffective. We're just watching shots ring out from our Progettos and our Foch. FE 4005, I haven't noticed him at all make any connections. And now I'm thinking to myself, well, I kind of need to get myself in the game. Here we go. Progetto 65 again. Broadside crossing. You know. But by this point in the match, the Foch 155 is probably back on reload. And repositioning. The 4005 is well out of range. Our 2 Progettos refuse to take any kind of shots for fear of... Oh, well, I guess 172. There we go. There's finally a shell coming through. I guess for fear of being spotted, but like full health Progetto. Yeah, just being so inefficient. I'm thinking, well, I'm not collecting a lot of spotting damage here in my current position, so it might well be worth me now trying to spot the enemies as they come down the hill. And, you know, it is a bit late, sure, but, you know, I did need to try something new, especially since our Progettos didn't seem to be doing a hell of a lot, and I'm trying my best to 3-mark this thing. I need to get at least, like, minimum 4,000 combined out of this match. And we can see we've done 1 shot of damage, 3,600 finally on the board spotting wise, but you know, the potential for at least another 2,000, I would say, you know, just kind of sat there in the open, and it took such a long time to accumulate the 3,600 that we do have. And now I'm just thinking, look, this is a game over. They're going to be pushing in from the south now. They've already taken all the low ground here, and they're just peeking and poking on our remaining heavies and TDs. It's time for me to try and get close to that Leo and get a second shell in, but he's moved away. We're just going to double bush here, and we did find the Foch, the side of the Foch there. It's a nice, easy, squishy target. You know, we are going to try for a second shell here, I think, just from memory. It does go dark, but hey. We're sure he's going to move in. There we go. Going to wait for him to double push himself there. And the Super Conquerors come back up. So at this point it's GG. We've got 1,000 damage dealt, 3,600 assisted damage. And as you can see down here, you know, in the bottom, I've got my MOE counted here. So we've got 3,500 combined, you know, and our target is 36. I guess. I don't know whether I had tracking or what, and I've just given up here, you know. I'm on reload. Commander's dead, and yeah, death was waiting. So let's go ahead and skip to the post game stats because geez, that's really brought my energy down watching that again. Right, so here we are, defeat on Melanovka in the Panhard EBR. We have ourselves, let me see, damage with assistance 4,000. So that was rounded up, I assume, by that Foch 155 shell into the Jaegeru. I don't know whether that counted or whether I had a little bit of unregistered assist from earlier on in the match. Let me see, how many vehicles spotted? 9 vehicles spotted. So most of those, I'm saying probably 5 or 6 of those spotted vehicles were from that initial scouting run. And as we all saw, we didn't have any, or that didn't have any real impact on the match at all, which is a little bit of a shame. Made 14,000 credits, probably because we didn't fire at all. So we weren't actually spending a hell of a lot. Team score, as you can see, damage-wise, we're middle of the pack here with 1,000. Barn. Wow, 6 shots fired, 2 hits, no pens, with 0 damage. Was he firing 8? He was firing AP then. God knows why. T100 just got clapped at the very beginning. Foch 155. No, the Foch didn't pen anything. Unless, I don't know, I didn't even register that there were 2 Foches in the match. Artillery again, got himself taken out at the very beginning. 183 behind us. Like, we can go up the list, you know, and it was just a shame to see a team with so much potential gifted damage, right? Kind of throw the game away. And it's these kind of matches, you know, where you've got the upper hand as a light tank and as a scout, and you're trying to 3-mark something and you're trying your best. And if you're playing solo and you don't have reliable teammates or platoon mates to, you know, actually hit the vehicles that you're spotting and calling out, it can be an incredibly frustrating experience because you're sitting there in a bush, nice and patient, unable to fire yourself for fear of giving away your position. And yeah, this is this is your result. 4,000. I guess it's not the end of the world, but considering the potential that we had, my word, you know, just one of those things. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you found it somewhat amusing because it makes me want to cry. And yeah, have a wonderful day or night. I will see you very, very shortly. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all.